and welcome back to our course on plastic design consideration. When it comes to designing plastic parts, one of the most important decisions you'll make is selecting the right material. A design can look perfect on CAD. The geometry may follow every design rule, but if the plastic material is not suitable for the load, temperature, or environment in which the product will be used, the entire design can fail. So, in this lecture, let's build a simple, practical, engineer friendly approach to choosing the correct plastic for any application. Whenever you pick a plastic material, start by evaluating four key factors: strength, temperature resistance, chemical compatibility, and the kind of surface finish or aesthetics you expect from the final part. First, think about strength and stiffness. Plastics come with very different mechanical behaviors. Some are strong and rigid, while others are flexible or impact resistant. So ask yourself, will this part experience continuous load? Do I need it to resist impact? Does it need to stay perfectly stiff over time? For example, amorphous plastics like ABS and polycarbonate are great for impact resistance and toughness. Semi-crystalline plastics like nylon, PBT, and polypropylene offer higher stiffness and strength, especially in load-bearing areas. So don't pick a material just because you've used it before. Always match the mechanical behavior with the functional requirement of the part. Next, consider temperature resistance. Every plastic has a limit where it starts to soften or deform. Two values matter most here: glass transition temperature and heat deflection temperature. These tell you the safe working range. For instance, polypropylene loses stiffness quickly at elevated temperatures and is unsuitable near heat sources. On the other hand, PC and nylon can survive much higher operating temperatures, which is why you'll see them in automotive components or high stress environments. Always choose a plastic whose safe working temperature is comfortably above your application's maximum temperature. Chemical compatibility is the third factor and one of the most overlooked. Some plastics handle chemicals extremely well, while others crack or degrade when exposed to common household cleaners or industrial fluids. Polypropylene and polyethylene are excellent against chemicals and solvents. Nylon is strong but absorbs moisture, which can change dimensions and properties. ABS is a great material for housings, but it can crack if exposed to alcohol or cleaning agents. Polycarbonate is very tough mechanically, but surprisingly sensitive to certain solvents. So, if your product comes into contact with oils, fuels, detergents, disinfectants, or even sweat, you must check the chemical resistance of the plastic beforehand. The fourth factor is the surface finish of the part. This is especially important for consumer products where the look and feel matter. ABS provides excellent surface quality and takes textures very well. PC is the material of choice when you need transparency, clarity, or optical grade surfaces. PC ABS blends give that premium finish often used in electronics. Polypropylene is economical but doesn't always provide a high-end surface without additional treatment. And for soft touch areas like grips, handles, and seals, materials like TPE and TPU are ideal because they offer flexibility, comfort, and good tactile finish. Now that we've covered the key factors, let's quickly walk through the most common materials you'll encounter as a designer. ABS is extremely popular because it is easy to mold, has good toughness, and provides a clean surface finish. You'll see it in remotes, toys, dashboard panels, and appliances. Polypropylene is lightweight, chemically resistant, flexible, and perfect for living hinges, food containers, and medical disposables. Polycarbonate is the go-to material when you need extreme impact resistance or transparency, like in lenses, power tool housings, helmets, and protective covers. Nylon or PA is a strong, wear-resistant material often used for gears, bushings, and automotive components, but it absorbs moisture, so dimensional changes must be considered. PBT is excellent for electrical components because of its thermal stability and good dimensional accuracy. And then we have elastomeric materials like TPE and TPU, which behave like rubber but are molded like plastics. great for grips, seals, soft touch components, and protective casings where abrasion resistance or flexibility is important. But how do you actually compare materials? This is where the material data sheet comes in, and many engineers find it overwhelming. The truth is, you don't need to read everything, you just need to focus on the essentials. Start with mechanical properties, tensile strength, modulus, and impact strength. These values tell you how strong, stiff, or tough the material is. Next, check the thermal properties, specifically Tg and HDT, to understand the maximum safe operating temperature. Then look at rheological properties such as melt flow index. A higher melt flow means the material fills thin-walled parts more easily, while a lower melt flow means higher strength but harder molding. Don't forget shrinkage values because they determine dimensional accuracy and warpage. Finally, check additional properties like UV resistance, chemical resistance, moisture absorption, and flammability ratings. The real secret is that material selection is always a balance, not choosing the strongest or the cheapest plastic, but choosing the one that fits the product's functional, environmental, and manufacturing needs. Once you understand how each material behaves and how to read a datasheet, selecting the right plastic becomes a systematic process instead of guesswork. Now, it's pretty clear that material selection is not about picking the toughest or costliest plastic. It's about finding the right balance of strength and stiffness, temperature performance, chemical resistance, surface aesthetics, and moldability and shrinkage. Understanding the common plastics ABS, PP, PC, PBT, TPE, and TPU gives you a strong foundation. And with a simple approach to reading datasheets, you can make informed decisions quickly. This skill will directly influence your product's durability, reliability, and manufacturability. This brings us to the end of Module 1, Foundations of Plastic Product Design. In the next module, we will learn about the mechanical behavior and failure modes. Thanks for watching this lecture. See you in the next one.